Hi everybody and welcome inside this new tutorial of VistaSculpt. Today we're going to see how to edit your 3D model even further by adding a background, adding frames and so more. So to do so, I'm going to load a project that I have recently made in the last tutorial. If you have missed it, make sure to watch it because it's very important. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to click on File inside the toolbar, and then I'm going to load a project, and I'm going to select the latest project that I have saved. Okay, the works is loaded. Now I'm going to delete one of these two models, and so I'm going to delete the second model. There is a few ways to do so. You can either click on the model and right click and delete the model here and delete it, or another way is to, let me undo this, and another way is to click cancel on your keyboard while you have your model selected, and that should work the same. Or a third way to do so is to head over inside the Scene Explorer, click on these three dots and click delete. Okay, with the model deleted, I'm going to focus on this model. So at the moment it's slightly off center, and I'm going to center the model clicking on the center button in the left panel where the move section is. Perfect. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to edit the background of this model, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to add a customized background. Now you can do this in a few ways. The first way, you can directly edit the image clicking inside the edit image and AI relief preview. This option, as we have already seen in the previous tutorial, lets you edit your model using text. But obviously, because we have already generated the model, we don't need to edit the image. I'm going to directly add the background on this this model that we have here. So to do so, I'm going to click on the remove plan, and inside remove plan we have a new option called add background. So if I'm going to click on add background, here we're gonna have a tool that allow us to choose between separate texture. Here there are some default texture, or you can also use a custom texture by loading directly here from your computer. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to create a background first without selecting any texture. So in this way we're gonna create a flat background, and to do so it's very simple. You just need to click apply, and it's going to generate a background where the red plane is located. Obviously here you can still perform a cut just by raising the cut depth slider. So everything that's going below the red plane is gonna get removed. So in this case, I don't want to remove anything. I'm going to stay on 0% here. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to basically increase a little bit the size of the red plane. So we're gonna get a bigger background. And here, where is the plane setting section, you can edit your background size. So at the moment we have a length of 53 centimeter for a height of 1000 approximately. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to set the same size of the height for the length. So I'm going to copy paste this, and by doing so we have increased the size of the x-axis on the plane. Obviously you can still use the arrow or just simply typing the dimension here. Now I'm going to click apply, and this is going to generate a model with a flat background, which is exactly like this. Obviously here we have chosen millimeter, but you can change your unit by going to settings, units, and here you can also switch to inches for your American folks out there. But here I'm gonna stay with millimeter. I'm gonna undo the change that we have just made. because what I want to do, I want to create a more complex background. So I'm gonna click again on remove plane, and here again I'm gonna click on add background, and I'm going to choose one of these default texture that we have here. I really like this one, so I'm gonna select this texture, and I'm going to increase the size on the x-axis again, slightly on the height too, because I wanted to give a little bit of margin to work with, because later on we're gonna add a frame to this model. So I just wanted to have a little bit more space to work with. Okay, now that we have increased the size, we can also scale the texture here with image scale option here. We can increase it to zoom more on the texture to make the texture bigger, or we can also zoom down and make the texture smaller. For example, here I'm gonna click 50%, which is gonna cut the texture exactly in 4 different panels, giving this effect, which I really like. And here when it says detail strength, it's basically the same thing as detail scale that you have when you generate a model on your right side panel. But in this time, instead of generating a model, we are generating a texture, which is kind of the same thing. So let's generate with just 10%, just 10% of detail, and you're gonna see that the texture is going to look really shallow. Just a little bit of depth, not so much of detail. But depending on which type of look you are trying to achieve, you might want to increase or decrease this detail strength. Perhaps you can even go in the opposite direction. So instead of adding detail above, you can add detail below. So I'm going to undo this, and I'm going to change the detail strength in the minus, and I'm going to go a little bit more detail. So minus 40. This should give a lot more contrast into the background. Let's see what we got here. Okay. So as you can see now, it's basically applying the texture in reverse. So this, instead of being like engraved up, is engraved down, which for this image I don't think it's what I really want. So I'm going to undo this, and let's use a different image. Let's use this one, or perhaps something else. Let's see what we got here. Let's try this one. Yeah, let's try this one. I really like this one, and I'm going this time with positive detail, and I'm gonna say with 35%. Let's apply this, generating texture. Yeah, that's the result. I'm going to close the cut model, and this is what we got. Let me get rid of the grid as well so we can see better the model. Really nice. We got a really nice background. So now that we got the background, we can now throw a frame on this model. This way we can also crop all the unnecessary space. So I'm going to click on the frame option, and here we have a lot of options to generate customized frame. This is the rectangular frame, but you can really shape in many other ways. So for example, if you increase or decrease the radius, here we're gonna see how the angle are going to get curved. Or if you go in the opposite direction, we're gonna get opposite side of curvature, which is really nice. So at the moment I'm gonna stay with 100 millimeter in the curvature, and here below you can also exclude corners. For example, if you don't want the bottom corners to be affected by the radius, you can also click here and click here. So we're gonna get something like this. Or for example, you can also do something like this, where we only have this angle and this angle rounded. Okay, now I'm going to slightly reduce the width of the frame. So I'm going to slide down this a little bit to focus more on the object, and also I'm going to slightly reduce the height a little bit. And since here in the bottom we got some space left, I'm going to raise the frame a little bit high. And now if I'm going to click apply, we're gonna get a frame which should be basically the same as this reference frame. And in fact, if I'm going to close this, here we have a really nice frame, really easy to make, and we got everything cropped automatically. I'm going to undo this to show you many other options that you can do. For example, if I'm gonna click on the frame again, I'm gonna reduce the width again like this. I'm going to also increase the angle slider, and as you can see, this is really changing the profile of the frame like this. I'm going with 100%, and also I'm going to increase the offset inside the frame. You can also go outside depending on which type of look you're looking for, but in this case I'm going with 20% of offset, and it's already looking really good. But what I want to do, I want to curve this. I don't want this flat angle, I want a more curve. So I'm going to edit the profile slider, and I'm going to increase this. If I'm going to increase it, you can really see how the effect is taking on the frame. Is it curving? And we can also curve in the other direction like this to make it something like this, which is really cool. And just like that, you can make some professional work with just a few sliders, just moving around a few options, and you don't have to mess up with modeling tools. This is really simple. It's designed for get a really fast frame in a short amount of time. I'm going to also increase a little bit the radius, and that should be good to go. Actually, what I'm going to do, I'm going to reduce the depth in half, because I'm going to create a double effect of frame. So at the moment we have 65, approximately 65 millimeter. I'm going to lower to 32, and now we have a frame that is a lot more thinner than the actual model, but that's okay. I'm going to set 15 millimeter in offset. Profile, I'm gonna get a little bit more curved like this. I really want this curve to be pronounced. And now I'm going to apply this. Make sure you always have auto crop enabled, otherwise it's not going to remove everything outside the frame. But if you are looking to essentially keep it, then you need to remove it. So in this case, I'm going to enable auto crop. I'm going to crop it. I'm going to apply the frame, sorry. And this should crop everything just like that. And now that we got the starting point, let's finish by creating another profile. So basically we're gonna like stack a few frames on top of each other to kind of shape up the frame in a more interesting way. So I'm going to increase the angle again, and in this case I'm going to increase the width and the height, because I need a little bit more space. So I'm going to increase it in both directions like this. And now I'm going to increase the offset, and I'm going to also work on the profile. So I'm going to do the opposite direction, and I'm going to increase the offset like this. Maybe that's too much. Let's do a little bit less. I'm going to also increase the radius, and I'm going to apply. Let's see what we got here. This is looking pretty good. I'm going to also add another frame to make this outside area a little bit more flat. So again, I'm going to stay again on the radius. I'm going to find a similar radius, and I'm going to use a negative offset, just like that. And another thing, when you are stacking two frames, one with positive offset and another one with negative offset, you want this two area to be a little bit more clipping. So I'm going to reduce the height and I'm going to reduce the width a little bit like that. I'm going to make the radius over everything here. Okay, now that basically the frame is a little bit stacking and clipping with the other one, this is better because when we're gonna merge it, we're gonna have a nice transition without any holes or line. And I'm going to increase the angle too and the profile as well to create this effect. Perfect. I'm going to apply it, and this should stack another frame on top of the existing one. Okay, so this is the result, which looks pretty good. But again, we can get more creative. This is just one option. Let me undo everything for you. Let me also undo the background because I want to start with the original image, because you can also create a frame without having any background at all, because you can just add a flat background while creating the frame. For example, here I can just click in the bottom, fill bottom, and this is going to create a flat bottom which close any open boundary. And this time I'm going to use the rounded frame, and I'm going to play a little bit with this two value here, the height and the width, to make it a little bit adapted to this image. Maybe it needs to slightly go up, so I'm going to slightly go up to not crop the hair. And then I'm going to down the angle, down the profile, and I'm going to create an offset, something like that. I really like it, and I'm gonna hit apply, and we should get a pretty nice frame. There we go, quick job. That looks pretty good. Now let me also undo this, and let's see what else we got, because we got more options. We can also use the outline. So inside shape, I'm going to switch to outline, and here we have a shape that's basically following the outline of the model. So I'm going to do the same as the other one, increasing a little bit the sides, filling the bottom, and hit apply. Okay, that looks pretty good to me. And this is yet another option that you have. Let me undo this. Let's open again the frame option, and we have yet another type of frame directly using a library. So here, if you click on shape and then you click library, here you have a few pre-made frame that you can choose from. Those are all frames that are already included with VistaSculpt, and those are essentially 3D model that you can apply on the model and create a frame with this model. So for example, here, let's use this frame, and I'm going to unlock aspect ratio, and I'm going to resize this. Obviously here we don't have any background, so we should have made the background, but that's fine. I'm gonna move a little bit on the left side, something like this, and I'm going to increase the thickness and move slightly above like this. Okay, even if it's even if the bottom is not fully covering the thickness of the mesh, that's fine, as long as the top area is covering, because then it's gonna automatically create a straight face here. Okay, I'm gonna click apply, and this should create the frame. Okay, let's close this, and that's basically all the frame feature that we have here. Obviously here we are missing the background, but that's fine. We can still add the background here by clicking on remove plan, and we can add the background. But you should have done this earlier, so when we would have applied the frame, we're gonna get a nice pre-made background. So actually I'm gonna do exactly this. I'm gonna undo this frame, and I'm going to create a flat background without any texture at all, and I'm going to click apply, and this should create a nice background, flat background like this. And now I'm going to go again on inside the frame, and I'm gonna click on library. So basically when you use a library frame, you cannot leverage of the autofill button. It's not available in this type of frame when you're using the library, only when you're using like this outline, rectangular or rounded shape. But since I really like this frame, I'm okay to just create a custom background and then put this frame inside this model, just like this. I'm gonna also rise a little bit the y-axis a little bit above. Here you can also mirror the frame, which to be honest it looks a lot better, because if I move it slightly on the left, we're gonna get this nice effect here. I'm going to slightly reduce the scaling on the X and move a little bit on the right. Okay, that looks pretty good. I'm going to increase the thickness a bit and move the frame a little bit higher to make sure that everything stays within the thickness. Just like that. Yeah. Okay, that's good. I'm going to apply it. And close everything. So as you can see, it has cropped everything outside the frame, so the background stays within the frame boundary. And this is the model right here. Looks pretty good. Now if you want to, for example, if you like this frame but you want to crop a little bit the profile, you can leverage of this tool called crop with offset. And basically what this is doing is creating like an outline that's essentially going to crop the offset based on the percentage that you use. So in this case, I can make an offset of, let's say, 20 millimeter, and I'm going to click apply, and it's going to crop everything outside this perimeter, which is really good when you want to refine the edges of your model, or if you want to just simply remove a little bit of the external area of the model like this. Okay, looks really nice. I'm going to export this model now, clicking on the export button. Or another way that you can export the model inside the Scene Explorer, you can click action here, the three dots, and you can click export, which is basically the same thing. I'm going to select the desktop, and I'm going to use thief depth map, and I'm going to set test as name, and I'm going to save. This is going to generate the depth map. Here we're gonna have two type of depth map. So we have the best relief option and the high relief option. Based on which type of relief you want to make, you can choose either of those. But yeah, I'm gonna export as a bas relief, but you can do whatever you want. You can export in whatever relief type you want. Now you can also see the difference when you export as a bas relief or a high relief. And now, just to demonstrate how you can also import heat map inside VistaSculpt, what you want to do to import it, you're just gonna click on File and click on Import Depth Map. And here I'm gonna select the TIFF, I'm gonna open, and here it says if I want to auto crop the black area. So basically it's going to remove this black area from the model, but for now I'm not going to do that, so I'm going to uncheck this. Here you can set the target poly count. To be honest here, a target poly count of more than 1.5 million, it's just overkill in my opinion. So I'm gonna stick with 1.5 million and I'm going to import. And here is gonna generate the geometry. And that's the 3D model. So as you can see, basically here, because we have exported as bas relief, so we have seen how to create custom background using the create background tool, and we also seen how to easily create complex frame by just using the library or the frame tool here, which is really powerful. And just to be clear, for example, this frame that you see right here that was inside the library, this has been created with VistaSculpt, and you can really be creative with this because you can leverage the AI text to image here, and you can create custom frame that then you can generate it and import as a frame. For example, here if I'm gonna say something like oval frame with wood material and wood engraving, I'm going to select the vertical resolution and I'm going to generate. Okay, this is the frame. I'm going to click apply, and here I'm going to generate the relief. Okay, so we got a really nice frame here. I'm gonna increase the edges smoothing to make it a little bit more rounded. And I think I like what I see, so I'm not gonna change anything else. I'm just gonna click apply and accept the model. Now I'm going to add to this scene. I'm going to hide the first model, which is this one that we have created earlier. And I'm going to work with this one. I want to get rid of the background and I want to remove the background inside the frame. So I'm going to click on remove plan. And then I'm going to increase this as long as we remove everything, but we stay within the frame. So we don't remove anything that's part of the frame. And I think that's exactly what is happening right now. I'm going to click apply. And I'm going to just save this frame like this. I really like it. I'm going to export this on the desktop. Here, when we export it, it's gonna say how many polygons you want to make this frame, and automatically it's gonna choose the best poly count. That's basically not adding or reducing quality. It's just gonna say as is looking right now. I'm gonna say a little bit less because I want to make it really optimize it. So 300,000, and I'm going to click OK. And now that we have saved this, I'm going to delete this model. I'm going to open the project that we have opened earlier. So basically the same project as the beginning of the video. I'm going to get rid of this model, which I don't need it for now. And now I'm going to center again this model, click on the frame option and click on library. Here we can load the frame that we have just generated, which is this one. I'm going to load it, and that's the frame, and this looks like it needs to get a lot bigger in order to fit within the model. This is a pretty thick frame. It's got a lot of thickness here, but it's looking really nice. And again, this was just a generic prompt. I could have been a lot more specific, but yeah, this is just to showcase the powerful frame generation that VistaSculpt has. Obviously here we don't have the background, but that's fine, I guess, for now. I'm going to just click apply and generate this even without background. It's just for demonstration purposes. And yeah, I'm gonna close this, and as you can see, we got a really nice composition here going on with a custom frame that we have generated and the model that we had before. Really cool. Yeah, I guess I'm going to stop the video now. I got a little bit carryover because I really wanted to show all the feature that you could have leveraged with the frame option. So as you can see here, we have generated a custom frame and put it on the model. So yeah, it's very simple to do, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, leave a like. Again, if you haven't downloaded VistaSculpt, you can try it, the demo, for free, and if you like it, you can purchase a license and start creating awesome relief like this one, leveraging the VistaSculpt AI software. So with that being said, I'm gonna catch you in another video. Bye bye.